Hello everyone and welcome back to Tree of Life Tarot. This is going to be your daily reading for Friday, March 27th. But remember, tarot is timeless, so I trust that if this finds you at a different date, that there is a message for you in it whenever it arrives. Oops. So, let's see. I hope you've all, that is too many cards. These cards feel unsettled right now, so let's just take a breath and maybe do this for yourself. It has been a tough week for a lot of people. There has been a lot of tough energy. The reading yesterday was all about this, that there is a sense of cumulative exhaustion, of bodies and nerves breaking down. And there is a sense of a need right now to just take a breath. And it can be so hard sometimes when we feel like life is pushing us. But learning to rest in motion is an important skill to accumulate. To accumulate is not the word, to strengthen. And when I just started to shuffle there, I'm going to shuffle one more time, but a bunch of cards just spilled out. And that's what the energy feels like. There's a sense of it just all being so out of control that it's just spilling out onto the floor. And I don't mean in a healthy, flowing way. I mean in a just falling out. And so there's a need to gather back in. Okay. Let's try again. Queen of Swords. And, oh, I saw the Emperor, but it didn't want to come out. The Chariot. Okay. This is the way forward. Now, what the way forward is has yet to be revealed, but this is, with these two cards, saying the way forward. She is pointing the direction. Her sword is up, her head and her hand is above the clouds. So there's a certain clarity, and there's a stripping away of everything that is not this, that is not serving this clear direction. And here we have the Chariot, card of forward movement, of balancing the energies. We have the yin and the yang, the solar and the lunar, masculine and feminine, however you want to name these opposite polarities, that their tension is generative, their tension and their difference creates new world, creates new movement. And so this Chariot here, similar to our Queen, but different orientation, is looking straight ahead. We are not cycling through the past right now. This is looking straight ahead and going that way. It's almost like she's giving her blessing to this Chariot to go on her behalf. Her hand is raised. She says, go forth. Let me see if there's anything else there before I continue. I'm very drawn to the stars above his head, and what I'm getting here is very Aquarian energy. Queen of Swords is an air sign. It can be sort of a card of Aquarius. The stars above the head here, the star card in the tarot is Aquarius. So there's that sense of, that card often represents healing, hope, and inspiration. Aquarius is a little bit of the rebel. It's inspiration. It can be technology. It rules astrology. sort of the unicorn of the zodiac, but it's very mental energy, but it's Uranian mental energy, which means electric. It's electric and it's inspiring, and electricity generates and it connects. So let's see. The way forward. 8 of Pentacles, that's come out quite a bit. So has this card, 5 of Cups. So continuing the work, we got our 2 5s here, our 2 tough 5s. Although I guess, oh, all right. We're gonna take all of these, particularly because I saw that Emperor when I was shuffling before. And so here's what I'm gonna do. These two go together. These two go together. These two go together. Actually, these two are a little bit separate. Can you see all of that? Okay. Oh, we gotta cover our little people here so that we don't get in trouble with YouTube. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have our Empress. So we have our counterparts here, our Divine Masculine, our Divine Feminine. Okay, put her here. So, 8 of Pentacles, we are continuing to work on it. This card came out earlier in the week, and it also came out prominently last week. So there is, and this is a card of the student. This is not yet a master. This is doing the homework, burning that midnight oil, repeating the task again and again in order to gain the mastery. So we are continuing with this work. And the fact that that card is consistently coming out means we are continuing a bit with the same work. So do not be discouraged. Our 5s here. There are 2 cups, 3 cups spilled, but 2 standing. And when we don't feel like we're making the kind of movement and progress we want, when our familiar struggles are still around, we can lose our motivation to do this work. So do not lose heart. I feel like there's something here with these 5s. This is showing clearly something that has not worked out, that has indeed spilled and has left you out in the cold, feeling unresourced, feeling isolated, feeling like this might last forever. And it will not, and we'll come to that in a moment. But I just want to honor and validate and acknowledge whatever this is for you. There is something that has not worked, that has become unfulfilling, that you poured into that spilled. Thinking back to as I was spilling those cards at the beginning of this reading when we were trying to begin. But this not working out, this being out in the cold and feeling like there's no door to go into, has created, out of necessity, and I don't want to use the word desperation, but I'm going to use the word desperation, even a little bit of desperation, a need to try a different way, a need to try a new path. And that's what we're learning right now. And so here we have our swords, our aces, our Ace of Swords and our Ace of Wands. So this forced new direction, even though it came from a place of, not the path you might have chosen. No one chooses to be here, but we all find ourselves here at times. So this not working out has led to the learning of a new way, and it is coming to fruition. The pairs of these cards are very interesting to me here. So let me just finish with the aces real quick. There is both the new idea and there is the new action. So this is not just, and that's, echoing these cards up here. It's not just an idea. It's not just a dream or a thought. Dream being the stars above his head. It's now coming down to earth into action. We go from the stars to the man here, to these sphinxes, I believe they are, on the ground. So we are now moving from the realm of ideas into the realm of action. And moving, this work is doing the slow movement into this new beginning. Now, the Emperor here and the Devil. It's very interesting to look at these cards side by side, because look how similar the postures are. They're mirroring each other in a certain way, just like these are mirroring. I also want to just, I'm sorry for jumping around, call out one thing here, which is the aces here, we have air and fire. And air and fire are very compatible, traditionally compatible elements because of their combustion. Air and fire, when they come together, they ignite. They are catalyze. So these two things coming together, the air, the inspiration with that fire, is generating what's to come. So we have our Emperor here, and we have the Devil. So this may be opposing forces within you. We all have contradictions within us, and what this is speaking to me a little bit about is how we are using power. The Emperor is benevolent. The Devil is addictive. The Devil is the corruption of power, keeping these two would-be lovers enslaved. The Devil is enslaved. We have, his creaturely features here. Enslaved to those, we have, I almost hate to use this language because there's a positive way to talk about our creatureliness in a very healthy way that we almost need to remember and return to. Excuse me. That is not what is happening here. This is the shadow side of it. So in our desire to rule, to regain footing, to never be here in this Five of Pentacles again, how are we going to rule? How are we using that power? Is it for the sake of stability? And this is a very fiery energy. This is associated with the sign of Aries. And I love Aries energy. We've just come into Aries season. But is there temptation to conquer in the negative sense so as not to experience this again, now that there is some traction? And we have our lovely Empress here on the bottom of the deck. And the Empress civilizes the Emperor, the would-be warlord, with his counterpart, Wheel of Fortune on the bottom, or beneath the Empress. She softens him. Her power rises up from within her. She is the source that he needs. He's actually quite dependent on her, because without her, he's very isolated. She is connected to all of nature here. So the Empress here is sort of speaking a little bit to that, the yin to the yang of the Emperor, to balance out the temptation to use power over and not use power in service. Okay. Let's see what else wants to come through here. Okay. There's our Tower. Okay, so big changes, looking in new directions, are Two of Cups. Love to see that. I don't think that one wanted to come out. Something specific. Oh, there's one. Page of Pentacles. This is a little wonky today. And then we'll put this one, well, no, we'll put it here. Bottom of the deck, I've been seeing him quite a bit as I've been shuffling, our King of Pentacles. So he's very grounded, earthy, and abundant. He's, you know, he's so similar in his dress to the Empress. This is like male Empress energy to me a little bit. In his connection to the earth and to sustenance and that Taurus energy. King of Pentacles is a sign of Taurus. The Empress can also be associated with Taurus, which is that, oh, the word is escaping me. It's not sensual, even though it is. It's not indulgent, even though it's appreciative of that. Maybe the word will come to me, but let's come back here for a moment because we've got some activity going on here. So this is echoing what I was saying before. Tower, big change. Something has come crashing down. Big, sudden, unexpected. And when I say big and sudden, it could also be an interior tower, although I have to say, this isn't a very interior reading to me. This is actually more action-oriented. But having had this tower, it's forcing the looking in the new direction at what's to come. Interesting that we have underneath these two together, we have a 2 card. The Cups exchanging energy here. What I'm getting from these 2 cards is a little goes a long way. There's not a need to overdo it because the Page of Pentacles leading to the 9 of Cups, a little effort leads to wish fulfillment. What I am hearing here, though, is a need for a tangible offering. A need to, because the way this is reading is with this 2 of Cups in the center. This coming into balance in reality. This may be a partnership for some. This may just be, it could be a romantic partnership, balancing of a relationship. Having had something not work out, with the new direction now becoming apparent, a small offering and a sacrifice. A small sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a bad word. And I say sacrifice, I do not mean being a martyr. That is not what we're about here. Sacrifice means nothing for nothing. That something must be given, that a piece of the self must be put in the game in order to manifest whatever it is that you want to bring forward. Sitting and thinking are not enough. That a piece of the self must be put out there, sacrificed, because that energy is what will provide the seed of the new birth of the new thing. I hope that makes sense. I'm thinking of lots of creation myths where the god, whatever, by whatever name, must, in order to create, has to pour out God's self or Source's self in order to manifest a tangible reality by which the God, the universe, however you want to say it, can experience and express love. Because disembodied abstraction, while it might contain the entirety of truth and reality, cannot actually experience the reality. In order to experience, an other is needed. The other is required for the exchange. So this tower here speaks a lot to that sacrifice. Once in pieces, what can be given, what piece can be given and poured out, what skin do you need to put in the game in order to bring this wish fulfillment, in order to experience the divine exchange, whether that's in love, whether that's just in creation of whatever it is that you want to create. An offering and a sacrifice is required. Not a big one, this is a small one. But a piece of the self must be given to bring this into reality, to bring it to the ground. So that's for you to wrestle and inquire with. What piece of yourself, what small sacrifice is required to bring this into reality? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you in the next one. Take care.